Hello everybody, my name is CyberAqua and welcome to Moreytown. Yes, I don't want to do two welcomes. I might as well just say welcome to Moreytown. People will be like, what? What is that? Oh, it's an interactive game. Oh, I didn't know about that. Most people might know about it. Anyway, continuing off where we left off. Not well, wherever we were. I forgot. Because yeah, I'm getting behind on everything for some reason. Yeah. Trying to focus on one video, like there's an idea I have and I'm trying to do it with voice acting and everything. But like I'm not good with voice acting, so I'm trying to learn new voice accents, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, where was I? You didn't breathe. Oh no. Why am I saying breathe? Oh yeah, I have 8 hours to go to waking up. Yeah, Flux is a good app. I don't know if you guys can see it, but Flux can change everything to thingy-majiggy. Where is it? Flux. Disable until sunrise. Disable for an hour. See, I don't know if you can see it, but Flux changes the filtering of the bluish stuff. So at nighttime, if you're like a person that kind of end up working more at nighttime, you may need to use this. It varies. It just makes it more easy on the eyes, and you don't get strained through it. I've been using it for so long, so. And yeah, there's a few options to do it with Flux. Yeah, if you're interested, just let me know. I'll drop a link in the description or like whoever asks us about it. But yeah, back to this. I wasted about maybe a minute or two. I can't really tell because like I redid an intro because I got screwed over by something. Anyway, to the thing. I talk way too much. Something's wrong. Anyway, you didn't realize you've been holding your breath until you saw the firefighter descend with the Moreytown, right? Moreytown, because thank to the official Nuon for doing some pronunciation for me. Then you gasp with relief, clapping and cheering with the rest of the crowd. Fortunately, it seems that may have been the last person trapped in the building. As you continue watching the fire, you notice something you didn't expect. There's a human in the crowd over there. And whoever it is, they aren't a firefighter. She's standing in the midst of a cluster of morose. Mostly rats and rabbits. She stands out because she's tall for a human female. Just a bit under 2 meters. And her pale skin and golden hair stand out against the mass of fur. She didn't show the kind of tension that humans typically show around morose. Wait. Oh, how do I pronounce this? Morose. So I was right. Morose. Yeah. Continuing on. Anyway, the woman is also overdressed for Moreytown. Though any human would probably be overdressed by definition. In a dusky pantsuit, she was talking with members of the crowd. But as the firefighters bring the Moreytown down off the ladder truck, she breaks off and heads towards the rescued Moreytown. Suddenly, a large shadow crosses your field of vision. Instinctively, you jerk your head in the direction to face the largest Moreytown you ever seen. He's big, even for an Urson. Urson? Yeah. A tower of black furred muscle easily a head taller than you. He's dressed in torn jeans that could house a family of 4 and a leather vest that has some sort of gang logo on the back. He's standing right next to you, but is paying you no attention whatsoever. His attention is taken by the fire and tiny looking phone in his massive paw. This isn't a bad thing. No, that isn't a bad thing. From the look of the guy, the wrong sort of attention from the look of the guy, the wrong sort of attention from him could be painful. Yeah, it could be. It could be. You look away from the bear. He's also a bear? Oh, Jesus. Trying to catch sight of the human female again. And you're jolted by a surge in the crowd behind you. You turn to see a mass of Moros moving to converge on a beat-up panel truck, the kind of automated vehicle that tend to move through the city anonymously until someone overtaxes its nav computer by doing an unexpected merge. This one is less anonymous than usual. The side of the truck are covered in a swirling mural of figures, Mori or human, you can't tell, holding hands around a crude globe. Above the mural, the words East Side Unity Center are written in the large block letters. The truck finishes backing toward the crowd, and the door at the back rolls up, revealing a lean, muscular feline with spotted yellow fur. Okay, he's wearing cut-off jeans, human make. You can tell because of the ragged hole torn in them to accommodate his tail, and a t-shirt with a design matching the pattern on the side of the truck. Jaguar or cheetah? It's hard for you to tell the difference at a distance. I mean, come on, I have good eyes. How is it hard to tell a distance? The feline talks to the crowd and starts passing out bottled water out the back of the truck. I shove my way through the crowd to see what that human is in the pantsuit is doing here. I step out towards the human and shout, "What the hell are you doing here?" I join the crowd mass by the rear of the truck. Maybe I can help. I push through the crowd by the rear of the truck. I need water as much as anyone. I ask the massive user, "What's up, big guy?" I keep a low profile, trying to eavesdrop on the user's phone conversation. I mean, yeah, there's three things I'm curious. It's like, who is the lady? What is she doing here? What is the big guy next to me? And what? The third option is that feline. Oh, he's probably the cat person. The cat is probably being a voluntary help worker or something. I don't know, because the name is like Eastside Unity Center. So, but that's pretty surprising that they showed up pretty quickly. But that's a bit curious as well. Something's wrong with that. But I'll take my chances in to see what the human is doing, because I'm curious. She's probably asking everyone about that, but I'm curious. You approach and watch the woman with a small white rat that had just been saved from the building. You notice a small drone hovering over the woman's shoulder, like firefighting drones. This one has a spotlight. Oh, it's a reporter, which is trained on the rat at the moment. It seems the rat's addressing the drone rather than the human. From this angle, away from the directed glare of the drone's light, you see the glint of several lenses trained at the rat. The drone is marked with high contrast fluorescent green and orange that would stand out even to a half-blind Moreau. No, is it Moreau? Wait, now I'm doubting myself. Why am I doubting myself? God damn it. How is it pronounced? It's Mario. Luigi, I can't do this. Mario, where is it? Where's the Mario? Where did I left myself? The drone is mine. On its side, you see a light flashing recording. As you approach, the human wraps up her recording of the rat and she says thank you to her and the red recording light. Yeah, she's a reporter. The light on the drone changes to an ambient standby. The human turns into your direction as you approach. As the human watches you approach, the drone follows her gaze, panning up and down, even through the light on the thing. Claim it's not recording right now. It's still a little unnerving, especially as you realize that you're not wearing any stitch of clothing. Oh god, you realize that the human is hiding some sort of reaction, but you can't read her expression well enough to know if it's amusing or offensive. She doesn't give you a chance to speak before introducing herself. Hello, I am Chris Westbrook of the Independent Multicast News Service. Yes, she's a reporter. She says, smiling, "Would you be willing to answer a few questions on the camera?" Well, that answers the question of who she is and what she's doing here. Yep. I'm not answering any human question. Tell her to get out of my neighborhood. Record me. Nope. Ask away, but point the drone somewhere else. She has to answer my question first. I have a chance to be on the news show. I'm willing to ask Uh, I mean, oh, this is a bit interesting. I'm butt naked, and there's a human, which is a reporter from which I was right, and she has a camera. She wants to ask question, but I want to know what she's doing there. But I kind of half already answered my question. She's probably just doing something for news or something, as in what caused the fire and everything. I don't want to be the guy that's like, I'm not listening when you tell us to get out. That's like literally, I'm only one. I'm interested in what she's doing. Yeah, sure, you tell her. But first, you tell me what's going on. Our apartment fire, is that newsworthy? From behind you, you hear someone yell, "Yeah, answer that pinky, pinky, answer that pinky, 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 pinky." Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, answer that pinky. Her smile doesn't waver. No problem. The drone's red light comes on. I've been looking into local drug deals, drug trades. Fox. This is, I don't know how to do a female voice. I'll try. I've been looking into the local drug trade, she says. There's a new designer drug called Spirit. You've heard of it? No, you tell her. It's true, you haven't. Well, it seemed targeted at non-humans in particular. There have been a dozen violent episodes connected to it in the past few months. Yeah? You glance back at the fire. And this has to do with my apartment burning how? My sources suggest that the influx of spirit in the city is coming from one of the street gangs in Moreytown. They're manufacturing it themselves. This fire may have been an accident in one of those labs. One of their labs. Yes. She lets that sink in before she asks, so, what about your story? Well, you did promise. You tell Chris Westbrook the story of how you escaped from the fire. She prompts you with questions every time your story lags. She's good at that. At this, you almost slip and mention the Sapunia you were brooding on, but you catch yourself before you get into anything personal. After you give the gist of what happened, she brings it back to the gang question. So, has there been a lot of gang activities around your building? You're not a gang member, but you've seen several gangbangers around before. Normally you wouldn't think talking to reporters about them would be the greatest idea, but now that you know what Chris Westbrook is looking into, it seems possible they had a drug lab blown up. That happens, right? How do you respond? Yeah, I mean, the fourth option is pretty good, but I would... Okay, let's go with this fourth option. You tell her about the gang members you've seen around your building. A capybara named Slug, a canine that calls herself Fang, and a rabbit named Francisca or something. Others that you don't have names for, you don't know exactly what they were doing. Never got that involved with them. As you talk, you realize you don't really have that much information. You never watched them dealing drugs or really doing anything more suspicious than loitering around the lobby. If it wasn't for the fact that your apartment was on fire, you might have thought that Chris was just fishing for some anti-Morio storyline. Something of those thoughts might have leaked through because she tells you, I don't blame you for being suspicious. What? Wait. Okay, yeah, that is a female voice up. But you know, the spirit is a dangerous drug. Fuck, why is it so hard to say this? This is getting harder every time I try to do it. It's like female voices are way higher than thing. It's designed specifically for non-human brain chemistry, and I've seen it do a lot of damage. It can suppress higher brain functions. I've seen non-humans who've completely regressed under its influence, becoming a little more than animals. You find that idea unnerving. I wonder why. While you're still pondering that, you realize that you've gathered a small audience. Just as you realize a bunch of Marios from your building are watching, Chris says, "Thank you for your time." She offers you a business card that says, "If you think of anything more, please let me know." Okay, now I'm getting used to it. You take the card and she leaves you to talk to someone else in the crowd. Apparently your interview is over. You stare at the card she gave you, wondering what to do with it since you don't have any pocket at the moment. Yeah, butt naked, and she recorded me butt naked. By the panel truck, the feline Morio's still passing out water. The Urson is still talking on the phone, trying to be quiet and not succeeding. I joined the massive crowd by the rear of the truck. Maybe I can help. Push through the crowd by the rear of the truck. I need water as much as I asked the massive what's up, big guy. Let's help with the truck, I guess. The feline Morris is moving boxes out of the back of the truck all by himself, and you're a little surprised that he hasn't been mobbed already. You edge up on the rear of the truck and manage to catch one of the boxes as he's about to set it down. His eye widens slightly, and you tell him, Let me go get the other one." Why am I creating another sentence? "Let me go get the next one." He looks at you for a moment and then says, "Thank you," in a voice that has a Central African flavor mixed in with the normal feline accent. He goes back to get another box of water as you pull bottles out and start tossing them to the waiting crowd. An elderly rabbit says, "Bless you," when it's a female elderly rabbit. "Bless you." Is that the only thing I can do? "Yeah, shut it. All right, that kid over there. Yeah, shut it. Bless you." As she takes the water from you. After a few minutes, the truck seems to be empty. The cheetah, he's close enough for you to tell species now, looks back into the cargo space and bares his fang in frustration. You lean up against the truck and say, "I think you got everyone water." He turns as if he didn't realize you were still there. He looks over the crowd, which has stopped pushing against the rear of the truck for the moment. He blinks, sighs, and leaps gracefully off the back. "Not everyone," he says. He gestures over to the firefighters and says, in his husky accent, how do I do an African accent? I don't have any left for them." You're surprised that he's been upset at not passing water to the humans. "I think the city has them taken care of," you say, a little incredulously. I sympathy with his impulse. I don't really understand why he's concerned with humans. To be honest, I don't care one way or another. I mean, then again, yeah. I've been trying to avoid the humans when it's helpful that they helped us. Sympathize with his impulse. Sympathize. Sympathize isn't sympathize as being feel or express sympathy, agreement with the sentimental opinion or ideology. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would go with him. Like, then again, it's in the nature of habit of helping out someone that actually rescued people from your area, or someone that's like doing something at your place. I'll go with the first option. You understand where he's coming from. Those human firefighters were just risking their lives, but you believe what you say. The city has better resources to handle them than he does. "I suppose so," he says. He looks at you. Walking in the shadowed truck has dilated his slitted pupils, giving him a somewhat startled appearance. Startled appearance? "Have I seen you at the center?" You're sure he means the East Side Utility Center, as advertised on the side of the truck. You shake your head. "Nope." You've heard of the place, of course. It's some sort of combination homeless shelter, community center, vocational whatever. All in all, not the kind of place you like to hang out at. "Well, if you're a resident there," he tilts his head at the apartment fire. We can give you a place to stay. We're taking over the gym, so we'll have room for everyone. You nod, even though our bedroll on the floor of a basketball court crammed with hundreds of fellow tenants does not sound that attractive. Thanks for the offer. I'm David Turier, outreach manager, among other things. He holds out his hand. You automatically reach out yourself, but instead of clasping hands, you find yourself suddenly holding a stack of paper. Huh? Would you mind passing those out? I want to make sure everyone who needs help knows where to find it. You glance down at the stack of paper in your hand, then back at David, who seems to realize that you were expecting a handshake. Sorry, he says. Sometimes I just let my cash causes get ahead of me. Please, do you mind? It will really help out. All my volunteers are stuck getting the shelter ready. He's doing a good thing here. Of course, I want to help. I mean, I would be a huge... He did apologize. So, when does this guy become the boss of me? I give his crap back to him now. He's doing a good thing here. Of course, I want to help. There's no... It's kind of rude to just like give like shit back to like volunteers because they're giving up their own time to do things. So yeah, I would still respect that. Anything I can do to help, you say sincerely. Thank you, he says warmly. He has a nice smile, avoiding any untoward show of... No problem, you say. You tell him as you turn to start handing out flyers. You move through the crowd, handing out the stack of paper, one sheet at a time. Many of you Morios you pass are still in shock from the fire and take the sheet without looking at you or the paper. As you pass them out, you glance at the flyers yourself. One side of the flyer has a globe logo and the word Eastside Unity Center displayed prominently. You see the address, a small map, and a list of services including a food bank, emergency shelter, a recreation center probably, and a bunch of other stuff. That building must be really crowded, you think. You flip over the sheet and see a poster advertising a rally for peace this coming Friday. Apparently there will be speakers, music, and food. What is wrong with me? Why can't I speak properly? All open to everyone regardless of species. If that wasn't clear enough, the bottom of the poster has a stock photo showing an unnaturally happy crowd of mixed humans and non-humans engaged in some ambiguous game on a green lawn under a cloudless blue sky. You doubt if that particular image ever existed outside a computer. After a few minutes, you've emptied your stack of flyers. You glance back, but David and his truck are already gone. You suppose he has things to do at the center, especially if the group of Morios from your building are going to converge there. You look up at the building. Daylight has begun to break, and the fire seems to have been extinguished. The firefighters are busy pouring water into the steaming wreck. You wonder if your apartment survived, but you can't see your window from where you're standing. You start edging toward the side of the building where your apartment is, and there's a sudden commotion. Commotion, right? Is that what it's saying? On to chapter 3. Chapter 3! Jesus Christ. A movement in the massed crowd catches your eye. You see a couple of Morios off to your left jump aside suddenly, as if avoiding stepping on something. A closer pair appear to trip on something, and you realize that something is forcing its way through the crowd towards you. Just as you realize this, the nearest pair of Morios stumble aside as the source of the disturbance pushes through right past you. For the briefest moment, you lock eyes with the molted brown. As she runs past you, it registers that you know her. She's one of the gang members who hung around your building. You avoided them for the most part, but she's one of the few that you know by name. Francisca. I don't know. You're sure that's her name? A rabbit of Peruvian ancestry. I mean, not accent, ancestry. One of the more common Morio breeds. She could have blended invisibly into the crowd if she weren't in a panic run, clutching a dirty. Wait, what? Clutching a dirty oblong cardboard box the length of her entire torso. She also would have been long gone already if it wasn't for the crowd blocking her progress. Even so, she's dodging people like a receiver heading for the end zone. A quick glance back at the direction she came from shows you the giant bear still talking on his phone. Obvious to the commotion. His back is to you. Flashing the gang logo on the back of his vest. Could he be the reason Francisca is running? Is there some sort of gang war happening? Given Francisca's panicked, half-burnt appearance, you're certain she must know something about the explosion and fire. You spin back around toward the disturbance in the crowd she's leaving in her wake. What do you do? Chase after. I'm going to find out what happened and I'll crack skulls if necessary. I'll call out to this guard, stop that rabbit. No, there are police cars arriving. I'll chase her and wave down the police. Try and keep an eye on her and find a cop I can quietly point out her. I'll yell over to the bear. Hey, big guy, you looking for someone? No. Okay. We're in the mind. Mind of our bear brain. What do a big bear do in this situation? Do I be a smart boy and just run for the rabbit and see what actually happened, or do I call out to the crowd and say stop that rabbit and make a huge commotion about it? Or do I wait? So I can hear police cars arriving. So do I chase it down, wave some cops, try and keep an eye on her after, and find a cop quietly and point it out? Okay, brain moment. Do I yell at the bear and say, hey, big guy, you looking for someone? No. Okay, I need to know because it's my apartment that got burned, so I'll chase her down myself. You shove past the smaller Morios after Francisca. You aren't as fast, but you can push through the press of the crowd easier than she can. You catch glimpses of her through the crowd, her ears flapping, her burnt brown fur, the box she's carrying. Then she glances over her shoulders when she reaches a clearing in the mass of people, and her eyes widen as she sees you pursuing her. It doesn't seem possible, but she managed to run even faster, her huge feet pushing her to leap through a gap in the crowd. You try to run faster, but you lose her in the crowd. You end up on the fringes, looking around, wondering whether she's gone. Great, you mutter quietly at a vanishing rabbit. Behind you, someone says, would you please turn around, sir? It's a human voice, and you tense involuntarily because only a cop would address anyone as sir while ordering them around like that. The cop is obviously addressing you. That can't be good. You turn around to face the police officer. The officer smiles slightly and says, we need to ask you a few questions. If you could come with me, please. The cop may be putting a pleasant face on things, but you see a few more cops behind him with serious expressions. It's plain that officer's request is not optional. You follow him a little reluctantly over to a line of police vans parked about a block from the fire. In one, you see about half dozen surely and cuffed Morios that eye you suspiciously as the cop leads you to another empty van. The cop waves you to sit on the bench in the back of that one. He says, someone will be with you in a moment. How does police officers talk? Someone will be with you in a moment. I have other interviews ahead of you. He's interrupted by a growl from outside, followed by a wet thud that sounds suspiciously like a truncheon connecting with someone's skull. He sighs quietly and continues, it's going to be a long day. He pulls an industrial looking tablet from a slot by the rear door to the van and taps a code into it. Then he hands it to you. Please fill that out while you wait. He gestures at the pile of fabric on the bench next to you, and please put those on. The van door slams shut, leaving you alone, feeling you have little choice. You pick up the sweats and get dressed. You glance at the tablet and sigh. It's the inevitable paperwork, something the cops usually should be filling out themselves. It's asking for all the typical demographic info, names, species, and so on. You grit your teeth and begin. Okay, first it asks your gender and you enter male. Well then, I might stop here because it's already past my recording limit, 30 to 40 minutes. So I'm gonna start doing that since some people, well, especially one. No, I can't really say, since it seems like people like that time gap, because I've been doing more than an hour videos, which is not that helpful for some people. So I might just do 30 to 40 minutes, mostly 30. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're like having a blast laughing me failing to read as well. But hey, it'll get better. I'll do more of this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.